Hey, let's talk deals. So first of all, we're going to be talking about this amazing deal that Ryan Reynolds did on a football team in England. Now, this isn't American football. This is the original football, right? So before I get into that, though, I have to give a big shout out to Colton. He's the person that brought this deal to my attention. I'd heard of the deal, but I didn't know that the details were this interesting. So he had hit me as like, hey, some interesting points on this deal, consistent with the concepts that you've been discussing. So that piqued my interest. I'm like, okay, let's see what's going on here. And he is exactly right. So shout out to Colton. He's in our PEFI 4 team, the Checkmate Fund. Yeah. So one of the reasons people ask, why do I do the courses and the incubator and all of that? One of the reasons is because it is what leads to just information, opportunities, deals, but it's also the reason that I don't do a bunch of convincing people or like advertising and that kind of thing, because it ends up that people that come into these programs end up being people that are out doing deals. Today we're going to be talking about social media, and another shout out that I want to give is to Quincy, who's one of our latest folks. I think we are now going to be at 9 deals closed in a separate program called the Acquisition Holding Company program, which program's a lot different from the fund incubator. But the thing that I love is that we just get deals done. And so we're at, I think, 24 folks that are in that program. And, 3 months in, we're at 9 deals, hoping that Quincy got number 9 done before we have our call tonight. So we got our training call with that team tonight. So very excited, just to be in the mix, So anyways, I brought up Quincy because he's in the middle of negotiating a deal on a social media property, and that's relevant. It's something I'm always kind of pushing, and you're going to see why as I break this deal down. As you pop in, say hello, ask questions, be sure to like. If you're not subscribed to the new channel, Solo Fun on YouTube, be sure to subscribe over there on YouTube. Ergiana does it right. She pops in, says hello right off the back. Like I said, I'm inviting you into my home right now. I'm in Peru. Give you a little view of this spot that I'm in currently. I guess I should do, it's been a while since I've done a little home walkthrough of place I'm staying in. So the other neat thing about what we're discussing today is I'm in Peru. I head to London next, and so it's appropriate that we're talking England today. So let's talk about this deal. Ryan has been on an absolute tear. If you didn't hear about the Mint Mobile deal, that's another one to look up. But he's just been on a tear. Very, very impressed with his investments and private equity deal making skills, and just leveraging who he is. And quite honestly, I don't even feel like he's coming in and just leveraging star power. A lot of it is the smarts of just seeing the potential in a deal and then taking full advantage of it. So in this deal, Ryan, which this is one of the most important things, I think, there's a lot of lessons to be learned from this deal. But one of the first things is finding partners. So, Ryan didn't go in and try to do this deal himself, partnered with somebody else who had a little bit of expertise, Rob McElhenney. And so they were able to buy the world's 3rd oldest football club, and they were able to do the deal for $2.5 million. other reason I love this deal is like it shows that a lot of the a lot of times if we're not thinking big, and this is one of the toughest things, is people are buying businesses and doing deals and very excited to do deals that are in this price range, but they're really focused on, okay, what is the multiple? And, that's great, but I like to buy these deals almost like I'm buying a venture capital deal, as opposed to buying just the income. So I'm not looking at it from just here's the income from the deal. I'm looking at it as here are all the assets that are in this business and how can we leverage those assets in order to get massive returns, in order to get incredible ROI multiples above what you would get at a three multiple valuation. And so people get really focused on, okay, I want to pay as low a price as possible for on a multiple basis. But if the assets are there, it can be a lot better for you to do the deal that's going to 10x as opposed to doing the deal that has a three multiple, but it's on its way down. So they were able to do this deal at 2.5 million. And one of the things that's really interesting is the deal was owned by a bunch of people that were in the town that the business is from. And so they pulled together like 2,000 fans, some of the people who were owners of the team, some of the people that were supporters of the team. And they basically made a deal that they were going to put money into improving the team. So, they basically said, okay, we've got this 2.5 million. And we want to use this 2.5 million to improve the players, to improve the facilities. And we're not going to just take this team, blow it up, and move it somewhere else. We're going to sign a 25-year lease that we're going to keep it in the town that it's in now, which was Wrexham. That was the first part. So you buy the deal, you get the deal done. And again, there are a lot of people that are paying, more money for deals with less potential. The second part of this is the work that was done to start making money right off the bat. Now, the reason I like just this deal as a team itself is that the team is media. So all the sports team is really at the end of the day is the eyeballs that it attracts. So it's almost like buying a YouTube channel or anything else. And again, these are deals that anybody can do on a small level and replicate this exact process. So they bought the team. The team is essentially a media asset because it draws eyes. People come and watch the games. They can sell the games to other teams, blah, blah, blah. But when you're going into these deals, one of the most valuable things you can do is try to look for underutilized assets. And they basically realized one of the underutilized assets was the process that they were going through to buy the team. And so they just started filming that process. They went to Netflix and got an agreement from Netflix to do one season because they didn't know if it was going to work or not. And they agreed to buy one season of this program that was about these two guys who were from outside. Well, number one, Ron's American, they're from outside of England, they're from outside of the football community, and they're coming in, they're trying to kind of revolutionize this football team that was pretty sucky. It was at just the bottom of the division. And Netflix buys it. Now here's what's beautiful. They pay around 400,000 an episode, got 8 episodes, and we're basically got $32 million. So right off the back, leveraging media, they were able to get paid all of the money that it costs for them to get into the team. And these are the kind of deals that where you're not so much focused on, what's going to be my ROI from the income of the deal. It's looking creatively at what's under leveraged. And everybody else who's gone through this process of buying a team, all of those people had an asset that they never leveraged. they never sold. They never had just a film crew follow them. It's like, if you're going to pay me, and those other teams, they're paying, in some cases, almost $1 billion. And so having somebody that is just following that process, and not including the parts that are covered by non-disclosure, that could be a TV show. So when you're looking at a deal, it's the same thing. You want to think about it creatively. What could I be doing in this business that's an asset that's underutilized? And so I love that as an example of that, because I'm always saying it's really no limit to those assets that exist in a business that aren't being used. Now, let's talk about the result. So that was the first season. They end up having the show be really popular. It does really well. It has like a 97% audience score, and of course was greenlit for a season 2. So they're probably going to make more than the 3.2 million, because it's like it's more valuable now that it's proved itself. But at the very least, they're going to get another 3.2. So you're talking, before anything else, they've already tripled the $2.5 million investment. Now you get to the other aspects of this. Everything else starts to explode. So their other media starts to explode. And this is why I think it's so important to not get caught up trying to build media from scratch. I think it's way too competitive. We're beyond those days of trying to build your audience from scratch. There's too much competition. There are too many distractions. And there's also too many assets. That's what, I was telling Quincy, who's doing, one of our most recent folks that's doing a social media deal. And he was like, so yeah, how many of these do you think I should buy? And I'm like, dude, like my goal when we're in the deal is, I want to have about 1 million followers for that particular industry. So, he's doing that first. It's like, yeah, let's get you up to 1 million. And you compare that to trying to build a million, he could do that in a matter of, in particular niche audience wise. Just doing that scratch becomes very, very difficult. But if you can buy a business, or you can buy a media asset that is producing the income, that becomes a lot easier. But I'm just 100% against trying to build your audience from scratch. So the other part that's cool is that the team gets better. So the team ends up getting better, but all of the other social media is kind of been attracted to it at the same time. The team's getting better. The Twitter, we're not even talking outrageous numbers. The Twitter, when they acquired, this is somebody who's in super blockbuster movies, just super blockbuster. When it was acquired, it's grown to over 200,000. Instagram was at 27,000, about the same number on Instagram, about 200, and then TikTok it was at 0. It's at about 450. But what's happened is, because of the Netflix, because of the team get better, all of these other things have grown, and they're now doing sponsorship deals across that media. So now you've got another income source from this media. And this is the interesting thing that I was explaining to Quincy. It's like, as you do a deal, and each deal that we do in the acquisition holding company program, it should be a leapfrog to the next deal. And you end up with this snowball effect where you get the Netflix deal, and then that grows the Twitter, and then you get a Twitter sponsorship, and that creates income, and you're growing the Instagram. And now they've got what's funny, TikTok is a actual sponsor. So that helps when you want to get more attention on TikTok. I've got Expedia, who is a sponsor. And you've got all of these different places. So in the stadium, you've got all the places where billboards and all of that. On the tickets themselves, there's ad space. But as you're getting all of this income and you're getting sponsorship on the social media, the other thing that happened is that the ticket prices goes up. And so I can see like this exact blueprint is why I'm also a fan of doing offline and online. I can see a cafe following this exact blueprint, a restaurant following this exact blueprint, to start to leverage these assets. Number one, filming the whole process of getting into the deal. Once you're in the deal, maximizing the other media to get behind the scenes and involve people in that story. And that's really what Ryan has done an amazing job at. So I wanted to share that with y'all. I want to get you thinking outside of the box when it comes to leveraging the assets that you can in a deal that you're looking to acquire. If you're not in the Patreon, be sure to check that out. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe. If you didn't like yet, obviously, you know how we do over here, man. We like things. If we're gonna watch it, we also like it because our time is so much more valuable than a like. Thank y'all for checking out the video. I will talk to y'all soon.